Hi guys, your Friendtor Kopika is here, and in this video we will discuss few examples. In previous video I discussed the introduction of the chapter, and in this we will see a few examples using the basics of GST. Okay, so before starting with the example, I want to once again discuss the note, which is very important and which I discussed in the previous video also. Actually, I concluded my previous video using this note. Here I would start with this note because throughout this exercise or these examples we are going to use this. First thing is, so first let me choose the pointer. Okay, the value of goods on which the GST is levied is called taxable value. Okay, so on the amount which you can apply the rate of GST, or you can apply the tax and find the amount of tax, that amount is called taxable value. Total value or invoice value means already the tax is added to that amount. The value which includes GST or the value with GST is called total value or invoice value. Next, if not mentioned, that is in the question, if they have not mentioned anything, then the selling prices, we are supposed to take all the selling prices as taxable price. That means on which we can divide the GST. Okay. So if it is not mentioned, we will consider that the GST is not included, and on that we can apply the rate of GST and find the tax. Okay. So if it is not given, we are going to consider all the selling prices of the product as taxable value or taxable price. Next, remember that in tax invoice, CGST amount is always equal to SGST amount. So these few things we will require while solving the problems. So let's start with the first solved example. Okay, the Aarti Gas Agency supplied LPG cylinder to the consumer for taxable value of rupees 545. Now taxable value for 545 means on 545 you can apply the rate of GST and find the tax. GST charged is 5%. What is the amount of CGST and SGST in the tax invoice? So you are given with the rate of GST and the taxable value. You need to find the amount of CGST and SGST, and what is the total amount paid by the consumer. So the total amount paid by the consumer will be taxable amount plus amount of GST. Okay. Next, find the amount of GST to be paid by Aarti Gas Agency. Okay, so there is an amount of GST that Aarti Gas Agency have to pay. So that also we need to find. Okay. Solution: rate of GST is 5%, so rate of CGST will be 2.5% and rate of SGST also will be 2.5%. Okay, so whenever you have rate of total GST, half of it will be central GST and half of it will be state GST. Okay, next, CGST will be 2.5% of 545, that is 2.5 upon 100 into taxable value. So that will be 13.625. So if you perform the calculations, you will get this, and 13.625 we can approximately tell that is rupees 13.63. Okay. Next is SGST also will be same. Okay, because amount of SGST and amount of CGST is also equal according to the important note that we discussed. Next, now these two things we already found. Now you need to find what is the total amount paid by the consumer. So the amount paid by the consumer will be taxable value plus CGST plus SGST. So 545 plus 13.63 twice, we are adding it. That will give the answer to be rupees 572.26. And finally, the Aarti Gas Agency has to pay CGST is equal to 13.63 and SGST is equal to 13.63. Okay. So total GST to be paid is 13.63 into 2, that is 27.26 rupees. Okay, so that's a very simple and very basic example under this chapter, wherein the rate of GST is given, taxable amount is given. You just need to apply the percentage on the taxable amount and find the state GST and the central GST, and then the total amount paid by the consumer. Next, a courier service agent charged total of rupees 590 to courier a parcel from Nasik to Nagpur. Okay, So in the tax invoice, taxable value is rupees 500, on which CGST is rupees 45 and SGST is also rupees 45. Find the rate of GST that is charged for the service. So total GST will be CGST plus SGST, that is 45 plus 45 is equal to 90. So amount of total GST is rupees 90. Next, rate of GST will be 90 upon 500 into 100. The GST upon the total taxable value multiplied by 100 will give you the rate of GST. So after the calculations, these zeros will get cancelled, and then what will be left is 90 upon 5, and then when you divide you get 18, so that is 18%. So rate of GST charged by the agent is 18%. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Okay, so in this, Shrikar bought a laptop with 10% discount on printed price. The printed price on that laptop was rupees 50,000. So the printed price was 50,000. He bought it for 10% discount. 18% GST was charged on the discounted price. So we need to find the amount of CGST and SGST and how much amount did Shrikar pay at the end. Okay. So discount is 10% of 50,000. So 10% of 50,000 is 5,000. So discount is 5,000. So the discounted value of laptop should be, or the discounted taxable value will be, from 50,000 you subtract the discount, that is 5,000, then you get the taxable value of the laptop, that is 45,000. Okay. Now on this 45,000 the GST was applied. The GST was charged on discounted price. So on 45,000 if you apply 18%, rate of GST is 18%. So rate of CGST will be 9%. And rate of SGST also will be 9%. Now CGST will be 9% of 45,000, and 9% of 45,000 will be 9 by 100 into 45,000, that is rupees 050, that is 4,050. So if CGST is 4,050, then SGST is also 4,050. Okay. So amount paid by Shrikar will be taxable value, that is 45,000, plus CGST plus SGST, so that is rupees 53,100. So Shrikar paid rupees 53,100 for the laptop. Okay. So those were a few examples in which we are using the basics of GST. So that's all with the video, and if you like the video, please share it with your friends and please subscribe the channel. So after these examples, we were supposed to do the practice set 4.1, but however Vaishali ma'am has already done it. So in my new video, or in my next video, I'll be discussing the next topic of the chapter, that is trading chain. Okay. So until then, stay tuned.